Hello class 10 student. Today I am going to continue our discussion on the national awakening in Assam. In the last discussion we discussed about the organization which were formed during the freedom movement or before the freedom movement, and among them the contribution of Assamia Bhasha Unnati Sadhini Sabha was what mentioning that the Assamia Bhasha Unnati Sabha arose a sense of unity and national awareness among the Assamese, and this Sabha developed a strong scientific base for the Assamese language by introducing systematic grammar to regularize the language all over the state of Assam. And also the government undertook the publication of Hemchandra Barua's book, that is a book of dictionary which we called as Hemcourse. So after the initiation of Assamia Bhasha Unnati Sadhini Sabha, which took an initiation and started a new time, new age in Assamese literature through a journal called Jonaki. In Jonaki played a significant role in literary and cultural organization of Assam. So the name here Jonaki is very important in the development of the Assamese literature in Assam. Later, the student community was also attracted by this organization, and they took initiative to start their own organization for presenting their aspiration and grievances to the government, and this organization came to known as Assam Chhatra Sanmilan. Here, the growth of national awareness was inspired through the formation of the Assam Chhatra Sanmilan, and few prominent founders were included like Lakshminath Bejbarua and Chandranath Sharma. In this discussion, we will discuss about some of the few other organizations like Riot Sabha, Ahom Sabha, and we will have a little glimpse of Jorhat Sarvajanik Sabha. So, what was the Riot Sabha? Riot Sabha, the main thing is that we need to know about the Riot Sabha, or the spelling goes like this, RIOT or RAYAT, whatever it is, but it is an Assamese term which we determine as the peasants, the class of people who used to cultivate the land. They were poor enough, they were common. So here the Sabha which was started, here the spelling is changed. Why is it? Because if I write RIOT, the meaning will be different. Riot means certain kind of rebellion, but this is not riot. As the meaning, proper meaning of riot here is peasants. So the Riot Sabha was formed in Tezpur, that is in Deed and Dorang district, and Nagaon Riot Sabha in Nagaon, and this Riot Sabha were established, as I have mentioned, in Tezpur and Nagaon. For what? For resolving the problems faced by the peasants. So what were the problems faced by the peasants? The main problem faced by the problem was the revenue, which was introduced by a new rule, that is the new rule, that is the land settlement in Assam. This new land settlement was a rule, an act which was enacted by the British government. Here, new kind of revenues were set up, the revenue were increased, and the burden were put upon the peasants who were already disgusted by the British government of paying of different kinds of taxes, land taxes, revenue taxes, and very high, at a very high rate. Here, this Riot Sabha raised his voice against the newly introduced land settlement in Assam that was started by the colonial state. And what did it demand? The Riot Sabha demanded for the abolition of grazing tax, reduction of land tax. So here the term grazing tax may be quite new for you. That means grazing means the cow used to eat grass, and when the cow goes for grazing into the field, the peasants had to pay tax for this grazing tax. अगर that means गाय घास खाता है उसका भी पैसा देना पड़ता है सरकार को. However, the Sabha did not play a significant role in the peasant movement. Actually, the Sabha was open for the peasants for demanding of their grievances, for presenting of their grievances, but did not play a significant role in the peasant movement. And thereby, in 1893-94, which took place at Rangya, Lasima, Sathebar and Pathargarh, that means the peasant revolt, that you will learn these things in class 10 about peasant revolt against the enhancements of land tax. The Sabha did not play any heed. If you go into the textbooks of class 10, you will understand that the name of this Riot Sabha you will never find here at that time. So later, during civil disobedience movement, again you will understand the term civil disobedience movement in class 10 in the second chapter of class 10 history, which was started in 1934. That the Riot Sabha was re-established under the guidance of Assam Provincial Congress Committee, because the work of Riot Sabha was not so significant, and thereby they started to fail, and this Riot Sabha merged into the Assam Provincial Congress Committee. Under the banner of Riot Sabha, the leaders of the Congress attempt at mobilizing the peasants. This point to be noted that Assam Provincial Congress Committee is the Congress party or the Congress committee which exists now, and we say as Congress. And the Riot Sabha came up to the Sipsagan Darang district. The Riot Sabha of Nadar and Sadar Chaidwar were very strong between 90 and 39. At those times, their Sabha was strong. They used to organize various meeting there. And during the period of civil disobedience movement, as I have mentioned earlier, they demanded the reduction of land tax by 50%, and the British was not agreeing to that one. To direct all the Riot Sabha towards a common goal and objective, a central committee, the Assam Riot Sabha, was formed, and its first session was held at Tilikiyam in Jorhat. First central committee which was started by the Riot Sabha, and all Assam Riot Sabha was formed of its first session in Jorhat in April 1933 under the Presidential Congress leader of Naveen Chandra Bordoloi. Here during this period, about 300 Riot Sabha were established in different parts of the in different part of the state, that is Assam. But it gradually ended by the end of 1940, and the Riot Sabha lost its importance. And in many parts, the Riot Sabha were included within the Provincial Congress Committee, that is the Assam Provincial Congress Committee. And this is the facts of the Riot Sabha, and it does not exist now. Next is Ahom Sabha. The most significance of this Ahom Sabha, that I have already mentioned, that Riot Sabha, which was started for the peasants, that's for the peasants, but it did not work properly for the peasants whenever there were peasants revolt in Assam later after. The significance of Ahom Sabha was also not so cannot be seen in those times, because the Ahom Sabha, when it was started by Padmanath Gohai Borua, the first session of Sabha was held at Sibsagar in 1893. One of the first activity of body was an anti-opium campaign. Anti-opium. Opium means that intoxicant substances that were used in Assam, that was used in Assam in those times. It was common for that one. So this opium is intoxicants which started to ruin the health of the Assamese people. So it has to be banned. So an anti-opium campaign was started by the Ahom Sabha. It was good, but the chief aim of the Sabha was to demand for privilege for the Ahoms in the British administration. That means the Ahom Sabha fought for only one community, not for all. It was not common for all. It was only for the Ahoms in the British administration, and they revived their traditional religion, language and custom, only their own, thereby re-establishing cultural identity of the Ahom. That it was first for that work of the Ahom Sabha that it started to work for one community for revival of their traditional religion, language and social custom, thereby re-establishing cultural identity of the Ahom Sabha. The Sabha also demanded for providing opportunities to the Ahom by considering them as separate community. Remember that whenever any struggle is started for only one community, and when the common subject is not taken into account as a whole, then such kind of struggle does not last further in the movement. So in this way, as the Sabha was renamed as the Ahom Association, it became overtly political. A significant political demand of Sabha was to get recognition for the Ahom as a minority community, as I have already told, and reservation of seat in the assembly and a separate electorate of Assam as a minority committee, and reservation of seat. What is the meaning of reservation of seat? That is to stand in the political activities, and to stand in a political activity like parliament, whatever it is in those times, and separate electoral system has to be formed, and these representatives from the Ahom Sabha will be having their separate electoral, and they will go to form the government. But in 1941, the association witnessed internal division among its members, and by 1950, the Ahom Sabha ended. Remember that one that I have already mentioned, that is Riot Sabha and Ahom Sabha. They lasted for a short period of time, and it does not exist now. It is because of certain limitations that were being observed in this Sabha. But as I have already mentioned, that Jorhat Sarvanik Sabha, another organization, played a very important role. It was founded by Jagannath Borwa in 1884. In 1884, it was a landmark in a political association of Assam. So we will discuss this about Jorhat Sarvanik Sabha, which had a great contribution to represent the aspiration of the people of the to the government and to explain government policies to the people, and also the condition of the people. To improve the condition of the people, the Jorat Sabha played a very important role. So in the next discussion, we will continue this about Jorat Sabha, and we will also continue about the Assam Association. Further, this Ahom Association lasted for a great period and had a significant role after Jorat Sabha. So for the time being, I remain. I hope so you will understand. Try to understand. If you don't understand, you do ask me in the next session of the class. Thank you.